What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us at InsideTheGame.ca, YouTube at Inside the Game Official, our friends over at Fired Up Network across 212 platforms, just like SoundCloud and a whole lot more, and of course, those beautiful TV streaming networks around the globe. We're talking about ESTV, Amazon Prime, Roku, so much more, including our friends over at Jinx Esports TV Canada. Scott, there's a lot to talk about on today's show, and it's a concerning discussion as well. What do we have?
Yeah, that's right. Starting off is the concern. There's AI voice acting woes, we'll say.
Yeah.
That topic has come up again. Tencent is set to acquire Techland. That might be a big buyout. New Need for Speed game is in development, which isn't exactly a surprise, but it's good news to me. And Ubisoft has clarified their account policy. That was causing quite a stir over the weekend.
It certainly was. There is quite the stir in AI as it is on the rise. Video games can be a little bit concerning when it comes to AI. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And this one doesn't seem to be helping at all. Let's talk about it. Scott, topic of the show is a heavy hitter. AI has been on the rise, and for some reasons it's been good, others not so good. And that's the case here, as AI manipulation of Assassin's Creed actors' voice stokes actors' concerns. This is a problem, Scott. Stefan Totilo over at Axios had this to say. Voice actor Victoria Atkin worked hard to record the voice of fictional 19th century freedom fighter Evie Frye for Ubisoft's 2015 adventure Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Dude, I like that game a lot. I really had a blast playing that game. I thought it was cool. The brother-sister twist was really nice.
Oh, it was awesome. And a nice tight-knit city like that. We were talking about the train.
Yeah.
Things I hope to see come back in Assassin's Creed.
Be weird to see a train in Mirage, but you never know. But without Atkins' involvement, someone using AI has now made Evie speak all the lead characters' lines in Bethesda's 2011 epic The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Dude, really? This isn't cool. Basically what they've done is they've stolen her voice. Why it matters? Here's what Steven says. Video game voice actors are fearing that the ability of generative AI to replicate their voices may cost them work and, more fundamentally, control their own voice. That's a huge concern. The mod called Dragonborn Voiceover Evie Frye AC Syndicate Voice Pack was created by a person going by the handle Dex Terrify. It was uploaded in April to Nexus Mods, a leading site for mods, and has been downloaded nearly 6,000 times until it was disabled and placed under moderation today. Interesting, Scott, it's taken this long to get that far. On the mod's Nexus listing before it was wiped today, the modder had noted, quote, tone and pronunciation won't be 100% accurate. This is fault with the voice technology right now. As it matters, I will release updates with newly generated lines, end quote. Well, apparently not, because it just got taken down. It's unclear that AI tools the modder used. There's so many AI manipulation things out there, but what they're saying is, quote, I was upset and confused, Atkin tells Axios. Quote, if my voice is able to be taken and manipulated from these franchises and people can make them say whatever they want to say, that's very frightening for myself and my livelihood, end quote. Scott, what are your thoughts? I got a few.
Yeah, this is where it gets dangerous. When we're playing with people's livelihoods. And that's a good point to start on, really. This is a big technological shift. And although every big technological shift causes a lot of panic, a lot of kind of unease, but this one seems to actually have real danger to it. If I could just take your voice, what do I need you for anymore?
Well, that's just it. You want to make another Metal Gear, take David Hayter's voice, right? But that's not...
Oh, I'm torn on that one. Whoa. I would like him to do it.
Absolutely. David Hayter for me will always be Snake, and that's just how it is, right? But if you don't tell me that AI had taken that voice away from Victoria, right, and put it into Skyrim, I wouldn't have known. I really wouldn't have known at the end of the day. So somebody has to kind of pick up on this and be aware of it. But it is very, very concerning that voice actors have to have this sense of fear now of losing their own entity when it comes to our industry. And they don't want to be left out in the wind. All of a sudden now you say a couple lines, and that's, if you say key syllables and words, I'm sure, right? They can just,
there's a sentence.
Exactly. They'll just manipulate that into their sentence, and then away you go. The actors, from what I understand, are paid. I can't remember how it was when I was talking to Jane, but we also heard too how the dude, it was who was the one we had this year that was in trouble with water? Bayonetta 3 voice actor. How that flipped,
oh, yes.
And one got paid, and the other one wanted more money, but they get paid by so much work. And if that's what your livelihood depends on, like, that sucks to get that stolen and taken away from you to then get implemented somewhere else. We see Ubisoft using AI to generate conversations and lines of dialogue within their upcoming open world games. That's to help Ubisoft on the production level, right? So that they can get in there when you are walking through, say, something like Watch Dogs, and all those NPCs are walking through the town and they're chattering. It's not someone sitting there making out each little sentence and kind of coming up with some kind of track record for them to make their way through the world. Here, it's just AI will just pump that out for them, and then they can move on and get the rest of the main game taken care of. Here, this dude, they took Evie's voice. That is frightening. All of a sudden, again, right, if you take David Hayter's voice, or you take Jane Perry, friend of the show, and put her in a multitude of games, which she has been in. Dude, Jane Perry, on fire. Love that woman to death. She is a great friend of the show, and I couldn't talk more highly of her. And there's a lot of respect to Jane and what she creates using her voice. To steal that, though, dude, that's a problem.
It gets scary. This is something that I think we saw the dawn of with the film, the cinema side, where you can bring an actor that has passed back into a movie, and there's some people that thought that was disrespectful at the same time, and I think I am among one of them. But this makes it, as we progress now into video games, how do you handle that? Is it okay that somebody can take your voice if they license it? Am I going to take a big, huge payout just to say that one sentence, give that company my voice on a license level? It gets really complicated, but I'm really struggling to see where it goes from here.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to watch our industry grow over the next few years as AI keeps evolving, and how they handle this little bit of business as just modders are coming in and taking people's voices. Dude, that's a concern. Scott, topic number 2 is involving Tencent as it acquires a majority shareholding in Dying Light studio Techland. Interesting.
More acquisitions.
Here we go, right? It's Tom Ivan over at VGC. Chinese technology giant Tencent is to become the majority shareholder of Dying Light studio Techland. The news was announced on Monday by Paweł Marchuka, who founded Polish game studio Techland in 1991. Paweł, who will remain as the company's CEO, said the studio will retain full ownership of its IPs and creative freedom following the move. Dude, I was so happy to see that. I saw that bit of news come out yesterday. I was like, yo, where are we going here? They do have the rights to the IP. I often think of IO Interactive, how at one point Square Enix owned Hitman, right? Like, they owned that IP, but they were able to get it back, and now look where we see Hitman today. So happy to see that. But let's continue on with the article. Quote, "We dream of turning Dying Light into the ultimate zombie game experience for players worldwide, providing you with multiple astonishing adventures and pushing the boundaries of solo and online modes to a totally new level. Our open world action RPG as a fantasy setting is already shaping up to become something truly special. The goal here is to make sure it will live up to the expectations for our first new IP in almost a decade, Scott."
That has me excited. A new IP is exactly what I want to see come out of Techland.
Exactly. We've seen the rise of Dying Light from Dying Light 1 with all the content, the DLC coming out for that. And then we get into Dying Light 2, and there's been a lot happening over there as well. And it's gone with the, I'd say, mixed reactions with that one kind of coming around and so forth. But I'm looking forward to seeing what we get in here with the next step in their next new IP, an RPG, an action RPG fantasy setting, Scott. It's not the first time we've heard this one coming out and about lately.
No, that's certainly not. It's first-person magic spell casting would be the only bit that's not on that. to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. He continues on with, can we make these dreams come true? Yes, we can. But what we realize is that the best, boldest dreams can only be achieved while working side by side with like-minded friends and strong partners who share the same vision, passion, and have the willingness to back it up with their knowledge, experience, and capabilities. Today, I am happy to announce the partnership with Tencent, who are in the process of becoming Techland's majority shareholder. Teaming up with Tencent will allow us to move full speed ahead with the execution of the vision of our games. We have chosen to ally with who has already partnered with some of the world's finest games companies and help them reach new heights while respecting their ways of doing things. As long as they get to do their own thing, Scott, that's the biggest, right? You don't want to get taken over and go, this is what you gotta do.
Yeah, I don't want to see them stuck on Dying Light forever.
No.
But I would like to see them kind of branch out onto their own creative endeavors, and this maybe secures a lot of financial backing to that endeavor.
That's the biggest thing, right? We will retain full ownership of our IPs, maintain creative freedom, and continue to operate the way we believe is right. I'm also going to continue serving as the studio's CEO. Techland's most recent game, Dying Light 2, was released in February 2022 and sold 5 million copies during its launch month. The original Dying Light was released in 2015 and has sold over 20 million copies, according to the studio, which has recently been gauging player interest in a third series in the entry, Scott. Back again for more Dying Light after?
Oh, I'm nowhere near the 1,500 hours completion. Dying Light 2, it's unreal.
Yeah, but we often see these moves just for financial backing, right? You see a lot of studios will go in, they'll go to PlayStation, they'll go to Xbox and say, hey, we'll give you an exclusive, we need this much money. And then they get that and they're able to make their game and continue on, but there's a partnership and a split there. Here, now Tencent's coming in and allows Techland to basically continue as is, hopefully, is kind of the idea here, and continue on making the games that they believe in and they want to create, right? You don't want to take the artist's creativity away and then pigeonhole them into a specific game. Okay, no, you make Dying Light, that's it, you're stuck. Dying Light. I kind of think of the Coalition in a sense, or 343, who are stuck making Halo, right? At this point, I think I'm ready for 343 just to make something else because Halo's not working. Here, Dying Light 1 and 2 has worked and has been doing all right. Now we're getting into something new, though. At least the studio here is able to branch out, but they have the backing now to be able to do that. But then you take a look at 343, who does have the backing because it's Microsoft, are still stuck doing Halo.
Yeah, all the money in the world you could throw at Halo doesn't seem to do it. I really hope that whatever Techland launches next, because of this financial backing, they can land the release window properly. Because that's what I recall. Dying Light 2 did not launch in a nice state at all.
No, it did not, right? It had a couple bugs for sure. It was kind of, I hear the ending. I'm not a Dying Light player. That's just not my style. I do appreciate what it is. It looks super cool. Man, there's just a lot of creepy stuff there with all the zombies and things. So I'm like, oh.
That's why you have to play like our friend Agent Hal, just drop kick everything.
Yeah.
It sends them flying. Hilarious.
Well, so they launched that in 2022. So the action RPG is going to be 2026, 27, Scott? Like, we're still a ways off here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, development times are only getting longer, and Techland has a big scope.
Yeah, they never take a small game. It would be interesting to see them go small. Just do something small, a little sweet project on the side kind of thing, take care of that, and as well as working on the action RPG that's going to take years to come around. But happy for them. Hopefully everything works out. It looks like it's going to be a good move. I know Tencent's got some deep pockets, and they've got their hands in a lot of IPs and a bunch of companies as well. That helps, right? And that's all we need here is sometimes a little bit of help to move on and keep that studio going. Scott, Need for Speed fans could be excited. There's more on the way as Need for Speed could be already in development. As Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming says, Need for Speed Unbound may have just been released late last year, but Criterion already seems to be working on the next installment in the series. According to a recent job posting, a new Need for Speed may already be in development. Quote, with a proud history working on beloved franchises like Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront, and Burnout. Oh, dude, Burnout. Bring it back. Oh, that was one game I played so much with my brother. just to see how much we could make chaos by crashing through everything and then blowing it up. Man,
that was the fun mode. I remember that.
Yeah, oh, so much fun. But either way, we're now challenging the conventions of the racing genre to take the Need for Speed franchise to the next level, end quote, the posting says. The specific job listing is for a world artist that will help us on our new and exciting endeavors to create an open world offering that players a vast, visceral, and authentic experience. Scott, Need for Speed seems to be changing things up a little bit. Unbound had a cool style. I think I tested it out for maybe half an hour, but then I was on so many other reviews I didn't have a chance. This is one I want to get back to and actually play. Have you been in for Need for Speed? I know Corey reviewed it for us for the show. That was the thing. If you want to check that out, you can check it out on InsideTheGame.ca or our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official. But yeah, Corey had everything covered for us when it came in for Need for Speed Unbound. But dude, I gotta get back into that one.
It was really cool. I have it downloaded, but like you said, here's the dark side of the industry. It's very hard to play all the games you want. There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
This immediately though, this makes me think open world brings us back to Need for Speed Underground. Or Underground 2, I suppose.
Sure.
I sort of fell off the series after that. I don't think they stuck with the open world. But if this returns back to Need for Speed Underground 1 was one of the best racing games of the 2000s.
Sure. That's fair to say. I would think so. I know a lot of people love that particular game within the franchise, which is exciting, but it's just, man, oh man, another racing game. Here we go again. Criterion is known for the racing games, right? That's their expertise, is what they do. And I'm always interested to see what are they going to do to push the boundaries of the next racing game when it comes for Need for Speed. Unbound had a unique art style in itself, and then this kind of almost felt like the dude, what's the latest films I'm thinking of? Fast and Furious films. That's what I was thinking of. Kind of had a bit of that feel in it, in a sense, and then this cool art style. I thought, man, that is kind of interesting to me. So I want to see where they're going to push the next one. Do you have any ideas? Do you think where they're going to take it? Open world always makes me nervous. Like after coming off Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I'm terrified. But I still love the open world genre because we're all just dying at this point for GTA 6. So
the open world scares me in terms of Halo. There's a lot of big open empty spaces in that game, and I see the potential for that happening in another Need for Speed Underground 3, I'll call it, just colloquially here.
Sure.
But I'm wondering if they're going to challenge the conventions of the racing genre. What does that mean? Open world is, of course, one thing, but that's not an original idea.
No, it's not, right? But then you're also going up against Forza Horizon, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think they're one of the top as it is. When you think of arcade racing games, that's where I automatically go. I saw Kyle the other day, our good friend of the show, and friend we game with quite often, almost on a daily basis. One of my best friends, honestly, at the end of the day. But it's
shout out Kyle.
Yeah, shout out to my buddy Kyle. But he was on Forza Horizon 5 the other day. And he just jumped in, right? And because it's on Xbox, it's easy. You don't even have to download it if you have access to the cloud, and away you go. And dude, I've done it myself. And I've gone back to that game numerous times because I'm like, I just get in this racing mood, and then there it is. Horizon is just that open world, go where you want. And I wonder if Criterion now is taking a look at that. You take a look at Ubisoft, and they've got their Motorsport series going on, and they got the Motorsport Fest, I think it's called. I'm like,
Motorfest, yeah.
Motorfest is just like Horizon. So, like, it's just, you saw what Playground Games has made, and now Ubisoft is doing something similar. I'm hoping that Criterion does something in the opposite direction. I know they're going open world with this one, but I'm hoping they take a different spin on it and don't do what has already been done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to get bogged down in a cheesy story either. That's something that I think Need for Speed falls into a lot.
So often Need for Speed falls into that cheese story, and then that's what happened with Unbound. I was like, okay, I got a little bit of time, I'm gonna jump in and check this out, and there's these two best friends kind of just, I'm like, oh, this is already feeling so cheesy within the first half hour, and I bounced out because I had other things to work on. But it's one of those, man, I want to get invested. I'm looking for that kind of that Need for Speed feel that's been missing for a while, and I don't know, we'll see if maybe this one will pull me in, Scott. I don't know, but it's going to be a while yet because we just got it late last year with Unbound. So again, it's funny, we talk about games, there's life cycle and how long it takes to generate some of these things, and it's not done overnight. So we're still years away.
Absolutely.
Scott, there is a big hubbubaloo over on Twitter over the weekend about Ubisoft and some of their policies being changed, but we got some clarification, and here's what's going on. Ubisoft clarifies it does not delete inactive accounts that have purchased games after its policy came under question. This is Ted Lynchfield over at PC Gamer. After its policies were called into question over the weekend, a Ubisoft spokesperson tells PC Gamer that the company does not delete inactive accounts with purchased games. With an account deletion notice as proof, an anti-DRM advocate recently alleged on Twitter that Ubisoft will delete inactive accounts, games and all, if they go untouched for too long. The official Ubisoft support Twitter account did nothing to change that perception when it said, quote, "We certainly do not want you to lose access to your games." In a reply to the tweet, Ubisoft support website also didn't mention that accounts with games attached to them were exempt from deletion, saying simply that Ubisoft closed long-term inactive accounts to maintain its database. Scott, a bunch of confusion here, man.
Yeah, I'm glad there's a clarification here.
Wow.
But I can't believe the support wasn't able to clarify that right off the gate. Or even more confusing, that wasn't part of that initial email.
Well, it would have been, there wouldn't have been confusion if that whole statement would have been just right from the get-go, clear as day, going, hey, we're getting rid of inactive accounts just to kind of clean things up, which has to be done over time because, dude, like you get bombarded with stuff, right? And eventually you just need to clean up some things. But if you own it, if you own the game, you purchase the game, you don't lose your account. Why wouldn't you just put that in there? Like, it doesn't take that much.
Yeah.
And then, like, the internet went ablaze. Like, it's just,
oh,
welcome to the internet, right? Like, it's, what do you mean? Crappy people on the internet? Never. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's nice to see that it's been clarified. Ubisoft not deleting your account. You still have your games, because I don't remember the last time I was on my Ubisoft account when it came to being on my PC, but Siege is just a nightly run.
I think I have Siege on my Ubisoft account, and that would clarify I don't get deleted, but it's really strange to me. This opens up the Pandora box of video game preservation, and
yep,
this is not exactly an answer, but at least this is not, we're not watching it all disappear as fast as it could.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. We'll see what happens, but Ubisoft did clarify you will not lose your account. Good to know. Scott, we're at the end of the show, which means there's a couple games out today. What do we have?
That's right, we have maybe a small one, perhaps. Remnant 2 has released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Mr. Run and Jump is on PlayStation 4, 5, Xboxes, the PC, Switch, and, believe it or not, Atari 2600. I think that's incredible.
That is mind-blowing, dude. Well, that'll wrap up today's episode, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. We'll be back again tomorrow. I'm Drew. That's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.